the third shift. All right, we are live or something like that. We're gonna see how this goes. Welcome everybody to the first episode of the third shift. This is a segment where I'm up doing work most of the time, but I have so many different videos and just news reports, outlets, different things I see on social media, just surfing the web, things like that I want to discuss more freely. And this segment, I think, might be one of my favorite segments. Hopefully it becomes one of y'all's favorite segments as well, where I just speak on a variety of issues freely. And it just gives me a chance to really engage with a diverse style of topics and comments and things like that, which is a big chunk of this channel. So if this goes well, which I think it will, it'll be much more of this in the future. And so let's see how this goes, basically. But I got a few funny I won't call it funny. It's kind of funny might sound a little sadistic. It's dealing with the whole Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul fight. I know people have already discussed this. I'm probably gonna be super late posting this, but I am a boxing fan. I've been a boxing fan for a while. I don't watch it anymore. I've just had a change of heart in my life, and so like the most violent thing that I watch at this point is football, which is saying a lot. But boxing, which is pretty much martial arts in general, is definitely a love of mine. So it is bittersweet, to say the least, when it comes to trying to get highlights and everything and just kind of avoiding the fights. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a whole nother level of conversation in the future, like why I don't watch fighting anymore. But it's a real personal change that has taken place in my life, and that watching fights and anything of that level is part of that change. I just don't do it anymore. I avoid that type of visual for my psyche, to say the least. And nothing with not to demonize, let's make sure that didn't go out, not to demonize the sport or any physical sports at that, contact sports, like I said, martial arts and things of that nature. Like I said, I still watch football, might even watch some rugby. I mean, you'll still catch me checking out the general bar scene sports, I guess, even though I'm not really going to the bars anymore. That's a whole nother conversation. But no, I still watch here and there, so I'm not gonna ramble on why. And once again, it doesn't mean that I'm not paying attention. So Anthony Joshua, I've been watching him for a while. The Usyk fights and things like that, him doing the I think was it not a trilogy fight? I know I believe they fought twice. Yeah, I know they at least fought twice. And and I know Anthony Joshua took some heat in how he, quote unquote, displayed his post fight reaction. Basically became a viral moment, and everybody was picking on him. But I mean, you got to understand, you're a competitive athlete. You've been on your game. With the Ruiz fight, that he I believe was his first loss, and then he came back and was able to dominate, learn from his mistake. But Usyk is just a different monster. He's he's a tall Russian. Is he Russian? I don't want to get the people don't come for me. I don't want to get the nationality incorrect. But he's a different fighter. He's like a taller Mike Tyson, basically, is what I was gonna say. Nationality aside, and that is devastating if you're gonna use that style and be good at it. To be that quick at 6'4" is crazy. But yeah, so seeing that he was fighting Jake Paul, I was like, and understand the whole Jake Paul controversy, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. So I'm not gonna really hold y'all on this particular topic and what I have to say about it. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and get into it, and I'll kind of explain my thoughts on that from what I've seen. So without further ado, let me pop this up. Well, dang. Yeah, man, buddy got the straw treatment. Buddy got the straw treatment, and you see his supportive brother right next to him. Hopefully, let me make sure that I'm not in the way of this pick. If I can move myself down, hold on, move myself down. Bring that back up. Yeah. So as you see, this is the aftermath of fighting one of the greats of our generation in boxing. Say what you want to say about Anthony Joshua. He's not anything to play with. He's not some tall, blundering, slow pace, buffoon or something. I think people underestimate the level of professionals and even amateur fighters. The average amateur boxer could beat 95% of just a general street fighter, like just regular hand-on-hand combat. Doesn't mean that they can grapple or something like that. Street fights, of course, are unregulated. You don't just you never pick a fight with anybody. And if you're going to go that route, make sure you have a referee, make sure it gets paid over it, make sure things are in order in case things go left. So it's not saying that just because somebody can do some damage in the ring doesn't mean they just go out and fight anybody. But I'm speaking based off of skill, and this is just one of those moments where they say respectfully F around and find out. And Jake Paul, well, let's just see. I think they say a picture is 1,000 words. So yeah. So hold on. Let me really make sure. Hold on. Let me make sure that I am not blocking anything. I will move myself up a little bit. There we go. Like I said, I'm still new at this whole thing. Okay, so yeah, it's as stated here. This is by Fifi Mal TV. It was at this moment that Jake Paul knew, yeah, he messed up. Congratulations, Anthony Joshua. I mean, yeah, congratulations. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. This is separating the boys from the men. You don't want to have the mindset that anybody and mama can just walk up in this ring and say, oh, I can fight him too. And I think that's the general issue I've had with this entire Jake Paul experience. And let me be clear. I have respect for the young guy. I really do. And I'm gonna show you why, if it'll come up here. Yeah, this is why I have respect. When you are willing to get in the ring with a monster and get your face rearranged, I got respect for you. I got respect for you. I can't say anything against it. I can't. What do you expect me to say? Like, oh yeah, he got kicked. You're supposed to get your jaw not loose. Okay, you supposed to be sipping out of a straw. Gerber is your best friend for the next 2 months. That's what's supposed to happen. And I think what has actually happened in the culture is we've forgotten, to put some respect on some of these fighters' names. I understand that he fought some UFC guys who aren't boxers, but still had a stand-up style in the octagon. He's fought Mike Tyson. I don't even want to get into that, y'all. I really don't. I'm a Mike Tyson fan. I've seen the highlights of his youth. And Mike Tyson in his prime would give Anthony Joshua a hard time. And the only reason I know that is because of his use of big fight. When you're quick and you're the smaller guy, unless he's going to pull a Lennox Lewis style, which would be the smartest way to fight a Mike Tyson. Speaking with respect to Anthony Joshua, that is the only time that I'm like, okay, well, yeah, he could definitely give Tyson, a shake up, a rundown, So of course Tyson's fight with Jake Paul was distasteful for anybody who really loves the sport of boxing. It was just distasteful, and but this is not to take away the fact that, hey, he trains, and he got that dog in him, But is he a fighter? No, there's a difference. You can have that crazy dog in you. You really can, but it doesn't make you a fighter. Fighters fight. They build themselves up. It's part of their life. It's part of their culture. It's not something you just necessarily just jump into, later on in your life. And by that, I said, well, he's only in his 20s. Yeah, he's young. But you got people who've been, really just, staring death in the eye since they were kids, literal kids. And Anthony Joshua is no exception to that, and the route that Jake Paul has taken, and just going to the next picture, just to, this is the conclusion, very happy, former world champion, and a very, life questioning, YouTuber. Okay. That's the thing, man. If you really want this, you gotta do it the right way. I think many people will support him more, even in the boxing community, if it's like, hey man, fight the amateurs, work up the ranks. It's too gimmicky. You're putting a bad name on a very well loved franchise sport. Well, I won't say franchise. A lot of people don't like the franchise, but they love the sport. I love the sport, even if I'm not watching anymore. I love the sport, and so seeing that this was not staged, that's what we were really like. Hey man, everybody's talking about, oh, we knew if he won, it was staged, and it's not to be a hater. It's just because we don't expect someone who just started this to be able to go toe to toe with some of the greatest fighters of all time. Because then that sets a marker that he can technically, or that he's technically eligible to fight people in a whole nother universe of fighting with respect to the sport of boxing. And it's just like, it's distasteful, and his young fans, I don't, these are kids. I'm not here to ridicule children, respectfully, it's not a jab at anybody, no pun intended. You just set the standard, man. You don't want these young kids to get themselves hurt thinking that hey, if enough money, I can be Superman. No, you're going to just fall 100 feet from that building you thought you can fly off of. I just don't want to see people get the wrong impression, especially when you're doing dangerous activities, sports like this, where you can lose your life in the ring. And I'm glad he took it easy on him. I don't even have to see the fight to know he did. But you have to also take it seriously, because at the end of the day, this is what built your legacy. Why wouldn't you take seriously? Like if you're a NASCAR driver, you're gonna drive a school zone speed limit against somebody talking a whole bunch of mess about your sport, saying, oh, anybody could do NASCAR. No, you're gonna run them off the road, let them know what they're dealing with. So that's why it's not sadistic to say, hey, we're happy of the result. We're happy that the sport of boxing can still have its respectability, which is, we go back to Don King eras and stuff like that. That's a hard, the bar's in another universe and a lower form, right? So to see this I'm pleased. I think the boxing community is pleased. It's not just to see Jake Paul get beat up, even though that's what he's pretty much put money up for, to get his behind beat. But it's a little deeper than that for those who just think that everybody's just happy seeing somebody get their face rearranged, because there's other ways to get a fake face lift, when you have money. This is not the way, but I guess if you have money, you can do that. I mean, sure, just looking at some of the comments. Jake looked like, so you for real? We not playing no more? Photo representation of when you finally pick on someone your own size. He's not even his own size. Not physically, not mentally, not. It's just not. This was so silly. This was so silly. I don't. Even when I was watching boxing, I don't even know if I would. I ain't gonna lie. I probably would have watched this. I probably would have watched this. Oh my goodness, he looks terrified. Jake ancestors felt that punch. I'm sure they did. That'd be possible. And of course, the ladies is loving it. And hey, don't what they say. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Hey, respect to him. Respect to him. He young, he's successful. He doing his thing. He getting love for the men. He getting love for the women. He's getting love for the world. But also y'all respect Jake Paul. I mean, he got in the ring with a monster. I mean, that takes a lot of guts and stupidity to do something like that. So, and shout out to Anthony Joshua. I know he has other fights, real fights, coming in the future. So definitely gonna be excited to see that. Lastly, let's see, he had a little something to say about Tyson Fury. Some water here. Got my great value water. Just so privileged and spoiled, on my Walmart value. Filtered water, quote unquote filtered. Hold on, let me see if I can see what he's saying.
Serious as he thinks he is, and he wants to put down his Twitter fingers and put on some gloves and come and fight.
Back up.
And come
Make sure we
gloves. And if Tyson Fury is as serious as he thinks he is, and he wants to put down his Twitter fingers and put on some gloves and come and fight one of the realest fighters out there that will take on any challenge, step in the ring with me next if you're a real bad boy. Don't do all that talking, AJ this, AJ that. Let's see you in the ring and talk with your fists. And if Tyson Fury is as serious as he thinks he is.
Alright, y'all heard it. Buddy said he back at that business. I love it. I love Tyson Fury as well. And I love Deontay Wilder. I love boxing, man. I really, really do. I was pulling the hate card with Floyd by loving that he was winning every fight, happy for his successful career. You got Bud Crawford, who's retiring 42-0 after the Carmelo fight. Shout out to Carmelo as well. Like, it's just a beautiful thing. It's just a beautiful thing. And I'll be peeping it. What I'm saying? I'll be watching here and there for sure. So definitely will continue to support in spirit these events, and shout out once again to Jake Paul. You got to give the brother, you got to give him credit, man, because he a complete fool for doing something like that. I'm just saying, if you know that it's I would expect no other result unless this was the downfall of boxing, because now we're just rigging fights for little short payouts and whatnot, and this is not also to disrespect the greats who, if they did take a payout, I understand, man, money talks, but for people, I just say this, for people who, let's say you love the sport and you got a little money, respect the sport. If you want to get involved in the sport, don't cut corners. Please don't cut corners. Like, it's distasteful. But if you're willing to go in there, like I think even Joe Rogan said it, like he was like, hey, Jake Paul, he's learned, he can fight, he's learned how to fight. Jake Paul can look, y'all may not like to hear this, but this is how money works. He can beat now any random person on the street. Like he has that $1 million training. You can't take that from him. But that doesn't mean that you can train yourself to beat somebody who prepared all their life, an Olympic fighter, who's it looks like a foot taller than you. Come on, man. It's foolishness, But shout out to the fighters, recovery for the Paul brothers, and because I think the other one was traumatized watching it. So, but yeah, y'all, that's it for the fighting segment, the entertainment segment, and for this channel. We're just gonna move on to the next.